Hey, I need a moment of your time. Quick, fast. It's not going to take me that long. Sometimes when I wake up in the morning, with books in my head. And this morning I woke up with The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. It's one of my favorite stories. And it's a story about a little boy that found favor with a tree. And this tree loved this little boy. And the little boy would go to the tree and he would say, "Let's play." And the tree would sway and the tree would let the leaves come down and he would pick the leaves up and he would make a lion's mane. And when the boy got hungry, he dropped apples and the little boy would pick up the apples and he would eat the apples. And then when he got tired, he said to the tree, "I'm tired too." And the tree said, "Well, lean on me, and I'm going to give you rest and my shade is going to block the sun." And so the little boy said, "Hey, I'm hungry again." So the tree dropped down apples and he picked up the apples and he ate it. And the little boy went away. And when the little boy came back, he said to the tree, he said, "You know what? I don't want to play. I want to make some money and I'm older now." And so the tree said, "Okay, well, pick up my apples, gather them and go sell them and that'll give you money." So the little boy went away for a long time and the little boy came back and he said, "You know, I don't want to play and I'm not hungry. I'm making money, but I want to get a wife and I want to get a family and I need to build a house. I have to prepare for my family." So the tree said, "Well, I don't have any money, but look, I got branches and my home is the forest and there's trees all around us. Gather the trees and cut off some of my limbs and you go build a house for your family because I want you to be happy." So the little boy ran and he did that and he came back and then he said, "I'm tired. I just want to get away. You know, I need a boat. Can you give me a boat?" And the tree says, "Well, I don't have a boat, but, you know, my stump and my whole body, it can build a boat. So cut me down and you get your boat. And you, as sad as I'm going to be, I want you to be happy. You build your boat and you go away." And so the little boy went away for a long time and the tree was unhappy. But when the little boy finally came back, he was old, he was feeble, he was frail. And he said to the tree, he said, "I'm tired. You know, I'm just exhausted. I'm beat. I don't need money and my teeth can't even eat the apples. But I just want to rest." And the tree said, "Well, I'm a stump now. And you've taken all I had. I only got a stump left. Your knees are feeble. Sit down and let me give you rest." And the little boy sat down and he rested. Mothers are that tree. Wives are that tree. We give and we give and we give until there's nothing left. The funny thing about the story is, as I begin to flip through the pages, when I begin to read it to my children as they were babies, nowhere in that story did I hear or read where the little boy nurtured the tree. The little boy didn't put fertilizer down. The little boy did not put water down. The little boy didn't ask the tree, "Do you need anything?" That book hit home as I deal with so many women who are just drained. They're drained and the families keep taking and taking and taking and taking and taking till there's nothing left but a little stump. Take a moment today and ask your wife, "Do you need anything? Can I help you?" Children, just take a moment and ask your mom, "Mommy, can I do something for you?" Because the worst thing you could do is just keep taking and taking and taking and not replenishing. The wonderful thing about life is as we become adults, we realize that love is recyclable. You put love in and you get love out. We as women, as Miles Monroe said, we are incubators. You give us something and we'll give it out. You give us heaven, we'll give you heaven. You give us hell, we'll give you hell. You put a seed in us, we'll give you a child. You give us a vision and we'll help you birth it. But the little boy was just so selfish because it's a book about selfishness where he just took and he took and he took and he went away and he disappeared for years. But when he needed something, he came back. He came back to her, but yet she kept on giving and she kept on giving until she became a little stump. And even though she said to him, "I have nothing left," what she had left, she gave it. And one thing about women, we're givers, we're nurturers. We'll keep giving, we'll keep giving. But the person that keeps taking needs to stop and pause and say, "Wait a minute. I got to nurture that thing so she can have something to give me." So many husbands are dealing with women who are angry because you're taking. And what are you putting back into your wife? So that when you come home, you can receive peace. You can receive a meal. You can receive everything that you need. What are children doing to say, Mom, I need, and for her to give of herself, her time, her energy, her finances, or whatever, for you to get it, you have to show her that you're grateful. You have to show her that you appreciate her. I know for my mother, God rest her soul, she went home, but when she went home, I remember that she put so much in me that was beautiful that every Thursday she received fresh flowers from me. Every Thursday, like clockwork. I would take her into the store and I would say, don't get one pair of shoes, Mommy. Get all three. Whatever you want, you get it. I would nurture her and I would sit at her feet and I would glean from her and I would learn from her. And she was able to understand that I not just was her daughter, but I was her friend. The story is so profound. We can learn a lot from children's books. We really can. Because it teaches character. It's a character building process that you put in a child and hopefully it'll stick. But we are the giving trees, women. We give, and we give. And we have people who just take in our family, our husbands and our children. They just take and they take and they take. Because the little boy even didn't say, well, tree, do you need anything? You need me to mow the grass around you, do you? But the tree said, I want you to be happy. Do you realize how strong it is for women to sacrifice themselves? I was speaking to a girlfriend the other day, and I'm going to let you go. And she said that she watched her mother feed everybody, but she never ate. She watched her mother do things, but she didn't do. Because Mommy had counted the pennies to make sure that they ate. And even though she sacrificed it because she didn't have. I remember even as a little girl, I shared this story, and my mother could not afford all of us to have McDonald's at the same time because even though my father worked and he made good money, there were times when she had to budget. And one time she took us to McDonald's on Fulton Street and she bought one Big Mac and she had 4 children and she cut the Big Mac in 4s and got a large fry and she gave us a little bit of the French fries, a large soda and poured us a little bit. And since we were children and babies, that was enough. And she would sit back and she would just watch us eat and she would smile because she was giving us something. One thing about women, we give because it makes us happy. But we're not to be taken for granted because we do that, because God has given us that ability. Understand the story of Adam and Eve. Adam had, Eve received. And so if you're a husband, please understand that your job is to replenish your wife. If you're a mother, your children's job is to replenish you. Don't wait for your birthday, holiday, Christmas. Nah. That's fine. But get a replenishment day and tell your children, even if they're small, they don't know. Today, you're going to do the dishes. Today, Mommy needs a break. Today, we're going to give you a coupon. And that coupon is to rub Mommy's back. Because sometimes children don't know. But when children get older, don't allow them to drain you dry. Don't allow your husband, hopefully if he's smart, he'll get this message and say, it's time for me to replenish my wife. The Giving Tree is a wonderful story. I admonish you all to get it if you've never heard the story. And if you've heard the story, apply it. I admonish couples to get it and read it to each other. That's what I would do if I was counseling couples. Read The Giving Tree to each other so that you won't be selfish and you'll realize that your husband or your wife needs replenishment. Women specifically. We need to be replenished. And it's not about sex. Sex is a wonderful thing. You're married, have lots of it. However, when your wife is tired, she won't even tell you because she doesn't want to rattle your feathers. But be man enough to realize it is my job to replenish her. Baby, what you need me to do? Stop by a mall, pick up flowers, get her a card. Tell her every day, thank you. Speak life into her. That makes her feel good. Believe it or not, she's waiting for you, attaboy. She's waiting for it. Pray over her. Get her favorite meal or her favorite cupcake or cookie. When I was married, I remember that I was married before I married Calvin. But I would do something. I would take Hershey Kisses and I would stick them on the seat of my husband at the time. He didn't appreciate it, and that's why we divorced. Oh. However, it is very imperative that you not take your spouse for granted because he and she are together as a unit. And the wife is that giving tree. And she's given and she's given. And you're taking and you're taking, but you're not putting anything back. For moms, don't wait till your mother is laying in a box and you're standing over her and you wish that you would have taken more time while she is breathing. Now give her that. Give her time and give her her attaboys and call her up and say, Mommy, I love you. That's one thing when my mom was stuck in the grave. I didn't have that guilt because, I did the most miraculous job. She used to tell me, you're my friend. And I speak highly of her now because she influenced me to be a great mom and to be a better wife even. And so she taught me. And so therefore I'm teaching everyone that I know. And so don't wait for mommy to be in a box to tell her, you know what? I love you. What issues you have even with your mother, get them out of the way. Because she has been that giving tree. And you might not understand that, but when she wants to give you and she doesn't have, it's because she budgeted her money to make sure you had a roof over your head and that you guys can eat. And so when she says no, it's not that she's saying no. She might be mad because she wants to give it to you, but she can't. But she does it in another way. You might be too selfish to realize that. And so please, I'm going to take this moment and I'm going to say bye-bye. But I'm also going to tell you, take a minute and you replenish your wife. And your children should replenish you. Children, replenish mommy. Because mommy is the giving tree. And over the course of time, she's going to be that little stump. And it will be unfortunate if you have to look over mommy in a box and say, I wish I would not have just taken so much from her, but given her something. Because there's going to be a time when you're going to call her. And God forbid she won't be able to call back. I know the experience. So don't wait for Mother's Day. Don't wait for Christmas or birthday. You acknowledge the woman in your life.